Haven't you moved out yet? Get out of here quickly, haha. My mother-in-law said this while dismissing me with a gesture as if she were shooing away a bug. Standing next to her, Anna looked triumphant. Behind them, I could see Kyle looking worried, watching us. You don't have to rush her like that. Just go quickly, Anna said, holding back her laughter, and Kyle looked sad. I smiled at him and glared at my mother-in-law and Anna. It's okay. I will leave in 2 hours. Oh, really? Then hurry up and pack your things. Michael, my ex-husband, also spoke with a nasty smile after hearing my words. Why did I ever marry this man? As I was thinking this, an email arrived on my phone. Ah, my ride seems to have arrived, so I will take my leave. The message stated that my ride had arrived. I grabbed my belongings and quickly left my in-laws' house. Thank you for coming to get me. As I got into the luxury car parked outside, Michael and my mother-in-law were visibly surprised. Hey, what's with this luxury car? I am Hillary Stone, a 27-year-old female entrepreneur. Ever since I was young, my dream has been to start my own design company. Hillary, you are really good at drawing. Yes, I want to design various clothes. I always love to draw, especially girls. I would think about what colors and clothes would make them look cute as I drew. I want to study design more professionally. Eventually, I became interested in design itself and decided to go to a design school. There, I met many inspiring people and one particular person. I really like your designs, Hillary. I want to draw designs like yours, said Erica Parker, a daughter from a major design company. Thank you. I love your designs too? Really? I'm happy to be recognized by you, Hillary. Erica, you're studying business as well, right? That's impressive. Erica was learning business knowledge from her father while studying design. I respected her and was glad we became friends. Hillary, I feel that you have a talent for management too. Shall we study it together? One day, Erica offered to study business management with me. In the process, I started to aspire to have my own company. After graduating, I trained under her father's guidance. He was a mentor to me. Hillary, you'll be fine. From now on, just try and do what you want to do. Years later, encouraged by Erica's father, I finally started my own company. I realized my dream and was living a busy yet fulfilling life. Hillary, there's someone I'd like to introduce to you. Could you meet him? One day, my mentor suggested a matchmaking meeting. Apparently, his friend's son was still single and without a partner, and his parents wanted to discuss it. My name is Michael Reed. I've heard about you, Hillary. He later became my husband. He was serious and was sincere in building a relationship with me. Attracted to him, we dated for about a year before getting married. I'm so glad such an attractive person has become my son's wife. My mother-in-law warmly welcomed me and wholeheartedly celebrated our marriage. According to Michael, his father had left home a few years ago. Afterwards, I was supposed to be enjoying balancing work and family. One day, I got a call from my mother-in-law. I had received a call from my mother-in-law while at work. I was in an important meeting and hadn't noticed the call. That day was particularly busy, and I had no time to call back. I'm probably going to get scolded. After finishing work, I sighed and made the call. You finally called back. I've been waiting. I'm sorry, I couldn't leave work. Well, that aside, I have something important to discuss. Usually, she would complain, Why didn't you answer the phone, or you should return calls sooner? But today, she moved on to another topic smoothly. Feeling a bit anxious, I listened to her. Actually, I need some financial support. Surprised by the sudden request for money, I was lost for words and could only utter, "Huh." During that pause, my mother-in-law started to state her case. It seems Anna, Michael's sister, had divorced and returned to her parents' home. So, the household finances have become strained. Is that so? Not just Anna, but her 3 children are also here, my mother-in-law muttered. Hearing this situation, I internally struggled. As a business owner, I can afford to offer some support, but being family doesn't mean I should readily give financial help when we aren't that close. You're not going to abandon us, are you? I didn't think you were such a cold daughter-in-law. Perhaps sensing my hesitation, my mother-in-law suddenly raised her voice. I sighed. I'll discuss it with Michael and decide, so please wait. Despite feeling fed up, I responded that way. Before our marriage, my mother-in-law was a very nice person. However, since getting married, her interference has become too much. Are you taking good care of Michael? Aren't you neglecting household duties to work all the time? I receive messages like this every day. Honestly, these kind of conversations were very troublesome while I was busy being a president. That's why I once clearly told her, "I'm sorry, but I'm busy with work. I'm also running a company. A woman's job isn't that big of a deal. Listen properly to what I'm saying." When I argue back, she gets angry with her own interpretations. My mother-in-law doesn't believe that I'm a president. She seems to think that I'm just doing clerical work or menial tasks. I actually have a significant role as a president. "What are you talking about?" Michael might be, "but you can't possibly be a president." Don't lie. Even when I argued back clearly, I was met with such responses. My mother-in-law didn't believe a word I said and treated me like a bad daughter-in-law who lied. Now, she was saying, "You're not doing a proper job, and you don't help around the house. So, at least provide some support. I'll talk to Michael about it." I told her again and forcibly ended the call. Honestly, even after discussing it with Michael, the outcome was clear. To suppress my anxiety and stress, I let out a loud sigh. "Hey, I got a call about the support from your mother." That night, I immediately consulted Michael about his mother's request. "So I see. Well, I'll leave it up to you." His response was cold. His attitude has changed after marriage. He used to be a kind person who would listen to anything I said, but now he barely listened at all. Anna came back home after her divorce. Huh. Anna. When I mentioned his sister's name, he suddenly shuddered and looked at me. "Did you just say Anna?" "Huh?" "Yes, your mother mentioned Anna." Surprised by Michael's reaction, I nodded. "We're not short on money, so maybe it wouldn't hurt to help out a little." Until now, Michael had always shown no interest in my desires, simply saying, "Do whatever you like." However, as soon as he heard the name Anna, he began to listen seriously. I didn't like that. "If you say so." Well, maybe just a little. But I was glad that Michael had finally listened to me for the first time in a while. I earn a decent amount as a president, but I can't give too much. The moment she asked for support, I had a bad feeling. "Thank you." "So how about $3,000 a month?" $3,000? That's a bit much. For now, I'll send $1,000. $1,000. Well, it's better than nothing. Thus, I decided to provide support of $1,000 per month. That amount seemed manageable, as it wouldn't require major changes to our lifestyle. Just when I started providing support. "Who is this number from?" I received a call from an unknown number. I was suspicious but thought it might be a business contact, so I answered. "You finally picked up. What were you thinking? Making me wait? Sorry, may I know your name?" "It's me, Anna." The call was from my husband's sister. She probably got my contact from her mother. It would have been nice to get some explanation, though. "So, what can I do for you?" "Oh, right. Thanks for the support." It seems she called to express gratitude for the support. But isn't $1,000 a bit little? Even though it was said jokingly, it irritated me. Is this the attitude of someone receiving support? If you're dissatisfied, I can stop the support. What's that? You have such a small heart. Are you telling me to let my children starve? That's terrible. Anna complained and then hung up the phone. Maybe I made the wrong decision. After talking to Anna, I thought about reconsidering the support. Still, the decision to provide support was my own. Let's wait and see a little longer. So, I reluctantly continued the support, but there were no words of gratitude. "Hillary, why don't you come live with Mom and everyone at the family home?" "Huh? What's going on all of a sudden?" One day, Michael suddenly proposed living together at his parents' house. It seems his mother hurt her back, and they wanted us to live with her to take care of her. But Anna is there, right? She's back living there? Anna is busy with her children. She can't take care of Mom on top of that. Michael replied to my objection. We had many discussions, but neither of us could compromise. I'm fed up. It's going nowhere, so I'm taking drastic measures. Eventually, Michael sold our house under his name without my consent and sent our belongings to his parents' house. As a result, we ended up living together at his parents' house. Get to the housework quickly. Right. Since you're staying here, at least be useful. Both my mother-in-law and Anna treated me like a servant, using me whenever it suited them. While I was at home, they would command, "Clean the room, make this because I want to eat it." If I came home late from work, they would say, "What are you doing out so late? Really unclean." And they would mutter these sarcastic comments day after day. This sarcasm added to my exhaustion from work and housework, pressing down on my spirit. I'll help you. In such circumstances, the one who helped me was Kyle, Anna's son. He helped me secretly, so that Anna and my mother-in-law wouldn't notice. Why are you being so kind to me? Actually, when I asked, he reluctantly told me the truth. My father's name is Michael Stone. Michael as in? Wait, you mean? Yes, she's not his sister. In fact, Anna was not Michael's sister but his mistress. They had known each other since their student days, and it turned out that Kyle and his siblings were indeed Michael's biological children. You're kidding. Shocked by the truth he revealed, I was left speechless. Soon, anger filled that void. They have completely scorned me. I couldn't let this go. Resolved, I began to take action. After making preparations, I presented Michael with divorce papers saying, "I want a divorce." What's this all of a sudden? I know everything. About you, Anna, and Kyle, and the children. Watching him react indifferently, I felt I might no longer mean anything to him. That's good, isn't it? You don't need such a useless wife. That's right. Michael has me, so she's no longer needed. As Michael was about to say something, My mother-in-law and Anna cut in. Encouraged by their words, Michael signed the divorce papers. And thus our divorce was finalized. Come on, you better leave soon. While getting the divorce papers ready, I called someone to prepare to leave the in-laws' house. I had prepared in advance, so I could move out that very day. So I planned to leave as soon as possible. My mother-in-law watched with a mocking laugh. Haven't you moved out yet? Get out of here quickly, haha. My mother-in-law said this while shooing me away as if swatting a bug. Standing next to her, Anna, the mistress, had a triumphant expression. Behind them, I could see Kyle looking worried, observing the situation. You don't have to rush her like that. Just go quickly, Anna said, holding back laughter, and Kyle looked sad. I smiled at him and glared at my mother-in-law and Anna. It's okay, I will leave in 2 hours. Oh, really? Then hurry up and pack your things. Michael, my ex-husband, also spoke with a nasty smile after hearing my words. Why did I ever marry this man? As I was thinking this, a message arrived on my phone. Ah, my ride seems to have arrived, so I will take my leave. The message stated that my ride had arrived. I quickly left my in-laws' house with my belongings. Thank you for coming to get me. As I got into the luxury car parked outside, Michael and his mother were visibly surprised. Hey, what's with this luxury car? With their astonishment behind me, the car started to move. It really has been tough, hasn't it? The voice from the driver's seat was my friend, Erica. I had been confiding in her for a long time. You should stay away from that family. She had been advising me this for a while, and when I told her I filed for divorce, she immediately said, I'm on my way. It usually takes 2 hours to cover the distance, but she arrived in minutes, so maybe she had been waiting nearby. Now is the time to start things going, Hillary. Show them what you're made of. Of course. I'll make them regret this. She expressed her anger towards Michael and the others as if it were her own. While thanking such a friend, I shared my plans with her. For now, is it okay if I stay at your house as planned, Erica? Of course. I would be staying at her house from now on. Erica's residence was much larger than where we had lived before, or the in-laws' house. So even with me moving in, there was plenty of room. Your house really is spacious, Erica. Though I also run a company, standing in front of her family home, which has been passed down through generations, makes me feel the difference in class. You must be Hillary Stone. As I was lost in thought in front of the luxurious house, a man approached me. Let me introduce you. This is Fred Owen. He's a distant relative of mine. He is Erica's relative and a lawyer. I would be seeking his help with claims for damages and other legal support. Erica has told me a lot about you. I look forward to working with you. Rest assured, we will definitely win. Encouraged by his confident response, I smiled back. And we immediately started taking action. First, we would demand compensation from Michael and Anna. I was also preparing to sue my mother-in-law for imposing housework on me and for verbal abuse. I've gathered plenty of evidence, I said, handing him the evidence documents. I was able to gather this evidence because someone had helped me. With this evidence, the lawsuit should proceed smoothly. Thanks to these documents, I was able to smoothly initiate lawsuits against them. Soon after, hey, cut the jokes. Michael called me. What's this all of a sudden? I haven't made any jokes. I received the lawsuit. What is this supposed to mean? What do you mean? It's obviously the consequence of your adultery. He must have thought he could divorce without any accountability. I smiled over the phone and replied to Michael, "Don't worry. You'll definitely be held accountable." Hearing my assertion, I could tell that Michael was lost for words on the other end. "Are you really going to do this?" "Of course." "Don't think you can mock me and get away with it." Feeling his disbelief, I hung up the phone. This was just the beginning of their nightmare. I intend to give them the retribution they deserve. "Why did you do this?" The day after Michael contacted me, I received a call from my mother-in-law. "What do you think you're doing sending this?" She apparently saw the copies of the evidence I had sent along with the compensation demand. It was a video of the harassment she had subjected me to. This evidence was sufficient to proceed with the lawsuit, and it was clearly filmed by a third party. "This footage is impossible. It must be forged." "I didn't film it, you know." I explained the situation calmly to the yelling mother-in-law. Of course, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to film such things myself. Then, who filmed it? As my mother-in-law muttered this, I handed my smartphone to the person next to me. "I did." "Wait, is that Kyle?" As Kyle spoke, Anna, who was also on the phone, raised her voice in anger. It seemed she was there too. "Why are you there?" Kyle had brought his brothers to this house as well. He explained the situation calmly to Anna, who was unaware of everything. "We can't become decent people if we stay in that house." Kyle spoke calmly about how his mother, Anna, had been harassing me. "It's embarrassing to say she's my mother." "What kind of way is that to talk to a parent?" Anna yelled again, and Kyle sighed. Then he handed me back the phone and said, "I don't feel like talking anymore." "Well, that's the situation. I will handle things with them." Saying this, I hung up the phone. Next, I turned to Kyle and asked, "What should we do now?" "I haven't decided yet. But anywhere is better than that place, even a facility." Kyle said this decisively. They had been neglected by their parents until they started living with my in-laws. Anna was out all day and only came home late at night. During the day, she mostly slept and never took care of the children. Grandma dotes on us, but doesn't let us do anything. It seemed the grandmother was overprotective in contrast, not letting them do not only dangerous things but also restricting normal activities. When they tried to study, boys should be outside playing, they were told, and sent out. And when they wanted to play outside with friends, "It's dangerous. Don't go out alone," they were stopped. Their days were filled with contradictions from the grandmother, frustrating them even though they were still children. Moved by sympathy, Erica and I decided to bring them to this house. "Then perhaps you can live here with us for a while?" Kyle nodded happily to my suggestion. Afterward, we reported their situation to the Child Welfare Office and sought advice. As a result, Anna and the others were stripped of their parental rights. Then, let's raise them in our home. It was Erica's father who suggested this. Although Erica was studying business management, she chose not to take over the family business, saying, "I will choose my own path." Currently, she is thriving in a small design company. Therefore, they wanted to raise Kyle as a future business leader. "If you're okay with it, I'd be happy." Kyle responded enthusiastically to the proposal. "I also hold deep trust and respect for Erica's father, and am confident that leaving Kyle and his brothers in their care is safe. Of course, I'll support you fully." Erica gladly agreed to take them in. Now, I can finally let go of that house without any worries. I thought this one day. "It's all your fault. Everything's a mess." Michael stormed into my office in a rage. According to him, I had taken the children away from Anna and spread rumors about his misconduct within the company. He came to vent his frustrations. "You've made it so I have nowhere to be at work." Michael blamed me while accusing me. Despite his rudeness, I decided to explain the facts calmly. "Do you think I don't know anything? The relationship with Anna had been going on even before our marriage, and he had approached me aiming for my wealth. No one listens to what a mere secretary says. Follow our rules." I was simply astonished by Michael's dismissive remark. My mother-in-law had always been prejudiced, but I didn't realize Michael shared the same misunderstanding. "You know nothing. I'm not just a secretary, but Mom said so." I sighed loudly at his excuse. "It seems you've forgotten that I am the president of this company." When I reiterated this fact, he couldn't hide his shock. Erica's father should have informed him when he introduced us. "It's impossible for you to earn more than me." Suddenly, Michael grabbed my arm forcefully. While I was resisting and saying, "Let go," a voice said, "Stop it right there." Turning around, there stood Fred, the lawyer who had come to help me. Actually, we had planned to meet afterwards to discuss demanding compensation. "Attacking a woman, you're the lowest." Fred sternly rebuked Michael. Taking advantage of Michael's confusion, I shook off his grip. "What are you doing?" People around us had called the police, and Michael was taken away. Fred watched the scene intently. That was close. But I'm glad we made it in time. Fred smiled at me with concern, and I felt a great relief from the bottom of my heart. His kindness touched me. As a result, Michael and his associates reluctantly agreed to pay the compensation. This is no joke. Why should I have to pay? Anna refused to pay until the end, but Erica's father's influence was significant. He used some means to ensure the payment was made. As they have not fulfilled their parental duties, this is the least that should be done to them. Erica's father said this with a snort. His capabilities as a president were outstanding among those I had seen. With an inescapable and strong network, escaping was nearly impossible. However, I wonder how he managed to prepare and make them pay. Anna had been a housewife with no work experience. They were barely maintaining their livelihood with my support and Michael's income. My father helped her find a job. According to Erica, her father found a job for Anna, although it was in a harsh working environment. For me, getting the compensation paid was a priority, so Anna's future was irrelevant. What about the ex-husband? Michael is paying properly. Michael had been detained by the police once. Though he was released soon as there was no direct violence, it seems his arrest record leaked to his workplace. Actually, Michael's reputation was never that good to begin with. He was the type who cleverly deceived people and had tricked many, but some of the smarter colleagues had realized his true nature. When our divorce became public, Michael's true nature started to be exposed. That's why some people were saying they always felt a dangerous vibe from him. As a result, the way people saw him changed, and he ultimately chose to resign on his own. The compensation was paid from his severance. That's reassuring. By the way, Michael also paid the compensation for his mother in one lump sum. His mother had no savings at all. Her unplanned lifestyle was one of the reasons his father left. Even after her husband left, she continued to spend money recklessly. It seems she was secretly receiving money regularly from Michael without telling me, which she used to get by. Why did you let Anna stay with you in such circumstances? She just showed up one day and stayed? Anna was Michael's former lover but had married another man. It seems the children were fathered by another man, and she was kicked out of her home when this was discovered. Unable to return to her own family, she came to Michael's house for refuge. His mother liked Anna because she was cute and close in age to Michael. Moreover, accepting that Kyle and the others were Michael's real children was also a reason she accepted them. In the end, Anna ended up losing everything. It will be interesting to see how much she falls from here. I laughed in agreement with Erica's words. Months later. Hillary, it's been a while. Really? It's good to see you're doing well. I had a reunion with Kyle. It had been quite a while since we met because he had been taken in by Erica's father. My previous dad came to see me. Anna's ex-husband, who loved them even though there was no blood relation, had come to visit after being contacted by Erica's father. We can't live together, but he told us he considers us his precious sons. He already has a new family, but he promised to regularly visit Kyle and his brothers. That's great, Kyle. Yeah. Kyle's face was full of smiles, a far cry from the shadowed expressions he had shown in the previous home. Seeing his bright change, I too was genuinely happy. It's because you protected us, Hillary. Thank you so much. To his words, I smiled and responded, if there's anything, let me know anytime. Erica, watching this scene, also had a warm smile. Initially, Erica declared, I will raise the children. However, she was unmarried, and despite having a stable income, there were many barriers to adopting someone else's children. Therefore, her father ultimately decided to take the children. I'm going to be a worthy successor, Kyle said, respecting Erica's father. He was still young, but aware of his responsibilities as a successor, his eyes were shining. Erica and I listened to his story with affection. I'm really happy to see you so happy, Kyle. After talking with Kyle, I muttered thoughtfully. According to him, his brothers were also actively living with Erica's father. Relieved by such a report, I walked through the streets with a light heart. Hillary. Huh. As I turned around in response to a sudden voice, I saw a gaunt Michael standing there. You've changed a lot, I was surprised. I was wrong. Please, let me try again. Michael apologized and suddenly began to talk about his recent troubles. Since we parted, Hillary, it's been one disaster after another. He quit his job and ended up using all his severance pay and savings for the compensation payments. Even though he tried to find a new job, his bad reputation preceded him, resulting in continuous rejections. In addition, my mother is still spending wildly, and I've ended up in debt. I coldly watched Michael with tearful eyes. Do you think just because I'm a president, I can solve your problems? I didn't mean that, but you must have a decent income as a president, right? Oh, according to you and your mother, wasn't I just a mere coffee-serving secretary? I said this sarcastically with a smile directed at Michael. Sorry, a coffee-serving secretary can't help with debts or provide assistance. Sort it out yourself. Hearing my words, Michael's shoulders slumped in disappointment. Taking the opportunity, I hailed a taxi and got in. Please go. I urged the taxi driver and left without further concern for Michael. That was the last I saw of him. Later, I heard through the grapevine that Michael had been caught by debt collectors and was put on a ship bound for a foreign country. His mother had fallen down the stairs and become bedridden. Karma, isn't it? Knowing their fate, I murmured this. Then, shall we get on with work today? Hillary, you tend to work too hard, so try to take it easy, Fred said with a gentle smile. We grew closer after that incident and are now happily married. Ah, That's right, today is. I know. You're meeting Erica, right? I continue to maintain an unchanged friendship with Erica, regularly dining together and deepening our relationship. But if you feel unwell, let me know right away. I'll come to pick you up. You're not alone anymore. Fred gently stroked my belly. We are expecting a baby with Fred. I couldn't think about children while I was with Michael, but now I feel truly happy to be expecting a child with Fred. Yes, I'll count on you if anything happens. Erica and Kyle have warmly congratulated us on the addition to our family. With their warm support, I am living happily day after day.